Welcome back to this special broadcast. In the first segment, we got you images when the earthquake struck Nepal. We now get you images of the devastation it has left behind. These are not ordinary images. These are images taken by the Headlines Today's drone camera. We went to the famous Darbar Chowk, the iconic UNESCO heritage site, which has now been reduced to rubble.
Two distinct images of the quake and the devastation it has left behind. Headlines Today's drone camera has attempted to capture the devastation. These are visuals from the once iconic Darbar Square, a UNESCO heritage site now reduced to rubble. Devastation seen like never seen before. Structures that have withstood many a calamity, even an earthquake 8 decades ago, this time the tremor perhaps too strong to defy.
The kind of perspective that the drone is able to give you, you can't see the destruction in that scale in any other way, because it gives you a really wide perspective of all the destruction from the Darbar Square that we saw, and from from all the destruction that we've seen around the city. The drone gives you a perspective that you just can't see in any other way.
This sequence captures the damage to the roof of an adjoining building, one of the royal palaces situated at the Darbar Square. Gates, windows, pillars, completely damaged. We also took our drone camera to Kapri village on the outskirts of Kathmandu. Images of a place where devastation is visible, but relief hard to come by.
The idea was to be able to use the drone wherever possible, use technology to make things more efficient and faster. So we were in Sindhupal Chowk this morning, and we were in the center of the valley, and asking the locals where all help has not been able to reach. And from there, sort of a kilometer, 2 kilometers line of sight, we would send it on top of a mountain somewhere and be able to find out the kind of destruction that has happened, and if help has actually reached there, or if people are just standing there stranded because the cars just couldn't reach those places.
Streets here in this village resemble ghost towns. Roads, houses, absolutely deserted.
If you think I'm in the attic of a house, wait for a few seconds, because you'll see that it's actually a two-storied building which is transformed into rubble. At present, we are in the third worst affected district of Nepal. There have been 193 deaths here so far, but the entire area, the entire district, which is called Kapri, has at least 697 injured. You can look at this entire house, at this entire area, and there are 75% houses here which have been affected by the quake and have been turned into rubble, which actually looks like this. We've visited at least 3 houses which are like this. There are just school buildings which are earthquake resistant, and people live there at night and in the daytime they try to pick up pieces to get their lives on track once again.
We also visited a National Disaster Relief Force rescue site. An operation to rescue people trapped under the debris.
The NDRF team is currently trying to find an alternate approach route to go inside where they suspect these 5 bodies to be. They're trying to shore this wall so that it becomes safe for them to make an approach. As you can see, there's a lot of debris lying around, lots of big blocks, big slabs of bricks, which are very, very dangerous when left loose. They're trying to shore this area. They've already been able to pull out one dead body from right behind there, where you see blood spattered on that piece of cloth. That's where they pulled out a body. There are 5 more people who are suspected to be inside, and they're trying to look for them. What happens next?
Usually after drilling the holes, people, since when the building collapses like this, so bodies are trapped. So with the help of airlifting bags, we have to lift the structures so that the body can be taken out.
So you put those bags over here and you've dug these holes?
Yeah, they can be inflated and we can get some space. So that
this building is already very brittle, making it very difficult for you actually to be able to stand here and operate.
I mean, surely, since it has collapsed like this and it was already a weak foundation building, so this risk is always there. But these things that has to be done in this environment only, and our boys...
You said this is a multi-floor building, right?
Yeah.
So we're currently on the top floor. What about the possibility of there being bodies?
We are standing on the 3rd floor.
We're now on the 3rd floor.
We are standing on
so
the
how many
floor.
floors are below us, sir?
2 more floors.
So is there have you been able to go down to those 2 floors?
Yeah, we could see on the 2nd floor.
See again through these cameras?
Yeah. But ground floor we have not been able to see so far.
Is there at all any possibility that you'll be able to pull somebody alive? Is there a possibility of miracle survivors on the 4th day, sir?
This cannot be ruled out totally, but possibility is very low. But occasions have been there in the past when people have been able to come out live after more than 78-90 hours also.
Well, it's incredible the kind of effort that you all are making over here on a building that is very, very shaky. You can almost, each time there's a minor tremor, you can feel the entire building shake.
Two images a week after the horrific quake tell a tale of devastation, rescue and now rehabilitation.
With this, we come to the end of this special broadcast on Headlines Today. But before we go, we get you this defining image of April 25th, 2015, when the sun set on Nepal's capital, Kathmandu. Thank you for watching. And here's hoping that the unconquerable spirit of Nepal will help it in rising from the rubble and the current state of despair.
Facing its worst natural disaster in over 80 years, this nation of 27 million people will draw on its primeval strength of fighting tremendous odds. To rebuild and renew its journey of life. What is today rubble is for Nepal the challenge of tomorrow. What is now death is another beginning. What is sorrow will firm the force to strive anew. It is a place of grand scenic beauty and a land of deep traditions. Locked in by giant neighbors, wedged between the high Himalayas and fertile plains, Nepal is a country of old religion and hardy individuals. And it is this, the acknowledged Nepalese power of endurance, that will define the days to come. For highland people living in the lap of undulating land, the sun that sets behind a mountain rises across the ridge tomorrow. The darkness that envelopes the sky is to count the stars in heaven. For Nepal, the morning light will shine again. The mountain peaks beckon, the verdant slopes wait. The snow on high passes glisten. In the debris of destruction, luminous hope and resolute will survives. And that no earthquake can ever shake.